Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Jersey and today I'm bringing you my very first build in the new game Dawn of Defiance, and I'm so excited for creative mode. Thank you devs, you guys are amazing. But guys, if you never heard of me, my name is Jersey. I'm so excited to be here testing out Dawn of Defiance, doing my first build. We're not gonna go too crazy, okay? We're gonna do something nice, something that looks good but not crazy, right? We're gonna wait. Today was the first initial build, the next official test run to understand how the mechanics in this game really works. So first thing, we're gonna start with a 10 by 10 base here. So it took me a while to find a place where I wanted to build and where I'm gonna start my new Greek city empire, whatever you want to call it, right? Whatever you want to call it. So as you can see on the thumbnail, of course, I made kind of like a little fortress and a house and all of that, kind of like your first started up base, something that looks good but it's easy to design for everybody to be able to do something in this world, but also being able to have enough space to put all your stuff that you need in the game. So something that I wanted to do here, I really wanted to do it here in this area, but as you can see, it was very elevated. So this was a kind of cool challenge because we can't do terraforming, but we gotta work with the land. Now the tools that they're giving out there are amazing. I really enjoy the way we are, everything clips, the way we rotate, all the freedom that we have to keep building in this game, the way we can kind of go inside the mountain or inside the dirt is really amazing. So I really like that. So really great job. So as you can see over here, we finished the 10 by 10 platform. Everything is elevated and I love it because you don't need, as long as it's attached to something, you don't need support underneath it. So I love that in this game. So you don't have to always build support. You can just keep going out. So thank you so much for that. Again, developers, really enjoy that feature. But as you can see over here, the platform is 10 by 10, so it came out a little higher. So we're doing the wall, so we're putting wall all the way around it. Now in the future, you know, I may do something in that spacing. Maybe I do a secret staircase. That's not on this video, but we may do in the future. So when I did the stairs, now this design, the stairs are long here and all of that, so it's gonna be depending where you're gonna build yours. Maybe you want to build in the same place that I did it, maybe you do in another place, so your stairs may look different than I do. Maybe you don't need stairs at all, depending where you're gonna pull this. But I wanted to do something with the stairs, so as you can see over here, I'm doing something with a little bit of design, creating these railways, kind of size for the stairs, kind of creating some rails, because I wanted to kind of feel like I don't want it to fall, right? To fall, but we're actually going to change that a little bit later. Now, when it comes to the corners, I really wanted to do something that reminds me a little bit of a castle, because this is kind of like your first fortress. You know, you want to feel safe here, and this is where everything we're going to do to expand and try to create more elaborate projects. So I'm going to work with a couple, try to do a couple design in this corner. Now, this being my first build video in Dawn of Defiance, you know, there was a lot of trial and error that you guys don't see. I did try to edit the video in such a way that to take away a lot of those trials and error. Sometimes I do leave the initial ones like this and all of that, so because you may like it the way it felt, so sometimes I do that. So if you're new to my channel and you're wondering why I leave some things, it's because it looks good, you know, and you guys may like it that way. But one of the things that I left this here is because it's part of the initial process, but the towers on the side and all four corners are actually gonna get a little bit bigger. It turned out to be a little too small compared with what I wanted it, so the square is actually gonna get bigger, and at the end it actually was a really good idea that we did that. It works better, and that's something that you can see right here. We're already adjusting on the first one. Now a lot of this build, when it comes to symmetry, there is a lot of symmetry, so sometimes once I get something completed, I may show it one more time, but then all the other corners I'm not gonna show you again because it's all symmetry, right? Once you know how to do one, then you can do all four of them all across. Now the towers is the one that's they kind of get redone a few times, so I just kind of want to be honest with that. There wasn't an easy way to edit that and just show it the proper way, because to show the proper way I already did a build before that and it needs to be shown. So I need to keep like this kind of stuff inside here so you can see it. But as you can see, we want to give it a little shape. So we're going to have some balconies. That's why this wall of windows over here, there is we're going to have a little balcony in the front. So it's very simple. We're going to do 6 across right over here. I believe that's the count because we're 10 by 10. So it should be 6 windows here. And as you can see, now that I fixed the square space on the first corner of the towers, then now I got to do the same thing over here. We got to do the same thing on all 4 corners. So yeah, so that's why you're seeing here. Now, what I'm doing in the front here, there may be a few changes as well, because I was trying to do a little bit of the front, but then I figured that I needed to push it back. Then I went ahead and pushed it back to the front. So there's a couple of things here that you see that they're gonna keep changing. But we're gonna have a couple windows in the front. They're gonna be 2. Then we're gonna have a 2-door doorway, and then we're gonna have 2 windows again on the side. So as you can see over here, we got the 2 windows. We're making the square of the tower. As you can see, I already kind of have my measurements a little wrong, so we're gonna push the window back, and that's what I mean. So pay attention on those details in this video, because this is a spill build video. The total length video of the original runtime with every single mistake when it was recorded, it was over 9 hours long. And then I edit all the other stuff out and just kept the good stuff in, and then you get this 45-minute version. So yeah, because who wants to sit down and watch something that's 9 hours long, right? And you don't need to see every single mistake that I did. Okay, so as you can see over here, now we're fixing the other towers. Like I mentioned, I'm gonna leave some of these steps in so you guys can follow it and all of that. Don't forget that in YouTube, you can actually slow down the video. Just mute it so you don't hear my voice very slow. Just go ahead and slow it down if you get to those moments. Sometimes if you pause the video, you can also take a screenshot. That will also help you to kind of follow along if that's something that you need. So, okay, so as you can see, we are still working, shaping it up. This is the front. As you can see, we got the stairs right here. So this is something that is important in here. So what we're gonna try to work here is the main thing is the gates. And this is something that in my initial try runs of this build, I was trying to figure out which way will look best. Do I want to kind of go inside? Do I want it to be outside? Do I want to create these archways? And this archway that I'm using, I liked it a lot in the beginning, but at the final product, as you can see on the thumbnail, it's no longer there. But if you like it, there's very good opportunities for you to use this in different ways. Now, I did kept it in the back, so that was the great thing. Like, it did work great in the back, but there was something in the front. It covered too much. I didn't like it as well the way it should have worked out. So yeah, so we changed it. Now over here, as you can see, I changed my mind again, and I went ahead and put the 2 windows back into the front, and I decided to make this kind of walkway that you have to get into the arch. Now the arch does change again because we're gonna push the arch to the front. Now the walkway of the door stays the same, so that is. It's just depending what you like. I'm just being honest. Depending how you like it, that's the way you gotta approach it. But as you can see, now I'm cleaning things up, making sure I got everything working correctly. I want to match the back to the same thing that I did in the front. So now we gotta push the back all the way a little, one more tile to the back. That way it matches the front. Because to me that's important. I want the back and the front to be equally. Same thing with the side and the side to be the same. But as you can see, look, it's already forming. So we're slowly getting the base, we're slowly getting the shape and the space that we need. So now we're gonna work on the doors. Now when it comes to Dawn of Defiance, as if you've been playing it, you can see that sometimes, don't forget that some of this stuff looks very good in the opposite angle. So make sure that you actually showcasing the door the way you want to, with all the stuff in the front or in the back. So over here, what I needed to do is kind of flip the doors around because I wanted to open a specific way, and I want to make sure that both doors look the same. Because the first time I put them, one was closer to the center and the other one was more closer to the edge. So we just needed to flip that around. As you can see, I went ahead and moved the archway to the front, thinking that was gonna look better, give you this depth look inside. We're gonna put a little column here, and I was trying to match it all the way to the top. Now the column idea does stay, but we ended up making it a little lower. So that's gonna come a little later. Now, I do have already many different ideas that I do want to do in this game. So if you're interested in following this series, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe so you can continue to follow the base and the world that we're going to create in the Dawn of Defiance, because I really like, and I can't wait to see what more they're going to keep bringing in items and decoration that we need in this game, because is amazing. I love building in this world. So what we're gonna do as a fortress, we want to do a walkway all the way around. So this is my way of kind of aligning the walkway, because I want to have like a little plaza in the middle, just very small, kind of like a little open courtyard, and I think it looked beautiful at the end. I really love the little courtyard that we made, but I wanted to kind of enclose this area because we want to have people that, you know, if you have guards or something like that, you want to make it feel like they're walking around the edge, right? And that's why I call it kind of like a little fortress kind of feel. Maybe you want to think about a castle as well, but also we also have our house right in the back, so that's something. Okay, so over here I'm doing the enclosing the wall because we want to walk in there, and in the corners that's where we're going to put a lot of our utilities and stuff like that, like the stone grinder, just every single equipment is gonna go around the corners of the towers in the bottom, and then if you need more space, you got the top one as well. So yeah, so I'm doing the walkways here. I decided to go with a little archway, you know, just give it a different look, different entrance one way or another. I think it looks great. Now some of this wall would change as we continue. I decided to have windows. I wanted to make it feel a little more open, just feel a little nicer, so that it's gonna come the way. So now I did want to feel like if you're walking over here, I kind of wanted to have a little wall, you know, like it feels great. So at first, and pay attention here in the tower, because all of that we're gonna take it off, I decided that they needed to be a little taller, you know. And that's the funny thing about ideas when you start working. At first I thought this was gonna be it, and then the video would have been a lot shorter, but I really wanted the towers to look a little more like towers, so a little taller. So we did work on that, so we can have that, and then we actually enclosed them. We put a roof and actually look very nice. So that idea evolved. So originally I wanted it like this, and we're gonna have stuff on the top and just imagine like people walking around and all of that. But then I decided to enclose them and make them full, kind of like a castle tower. So that is gonna change. But as you can see, all the way around we're using this wall. Now I went with this one because the character is like halfway through you, so it looks very good. There was another one that's a little taller, but then it's too tall. Even though the character is like it's covering, my head may stick out, but the rest of the body, half of the body doesn't. So I didn't like that look. Now this is gonna be all subjective. It's gonna be up to you as well, depending what you decide that you like or don't like. So truly it's gonna be truly up to you, using the walls, using wood or stone, whatever texture you want. You want to add more windows, more doorway. Make this build your own as you're looking at it. So now this is the first division. Now we have the doors right over here, so we went ahead and marked, so it's kind of 2 after the doorway. We make a little wall and we put 2 doorways. Now this is where inside here there's also going to be more equipment, and this back here is going to lead you to the upstairs section. That's how you're going to get to here. Now in front of the door, that's the little courtyard, and I can't wait because that's my favorite part. It honestly is my favorite part of this build. I love the way that feels here, and then everything is kind of divided into 2 things. Okay, so we are putting the little stairs, and I was trying to figure out what's the best way to cover the sides, you know, because I don't want these openings like this. At first I thought it could have been cool, even the opening, maybe put some chests down there, but I decided just to cover everything. Now something that's going to change, is going to come very soon, is that the stairs, instead of using the double one, it's going to be single. Then we're going to have like a little walkway on the side, kind of you can use it for anything else or future stuff that they add on. So we're gonna wait for that. Now on this section here, you should have a 3 wide. So if you see 3 now, except for where the stairs, because you gotta walk up and down, so that's gonna be different. You see how you got 2, you can't go, so you gotta put 1 in the corners, and then you're gonna go 2 to the front all the way across. But if you count from the corners, 3. So if you need a hint for your measurement, so make sure it's 1, 2, 3. You know, so that's how you're gonna get your measurements. Now over here, this is when I realized that if I want this to work really good, and doesn't make sense that my stairs are double over here, then it's better if I make also my stair on that other side single, you know, the 1 square, the half square of the stairs, and delete the other one, and then just make something on the side, just enclose it, put some walls, and make that kind of like a little dead-end hallway. And that's, maybe you want to put chests or anything else that comes in the future when it comes to decorating. So you can see I'm deleting all the stairs on the side, and then now we definitely need to start covering and making walls over here because it needs to look good. It needs to look good, right? So that's what we're doing right now. And sometimes it's a little bit tricky to get it to clip just the way I want it. As you can see, sometimes it wants to go down, wants to go up, but don't give up on that. Once you start in one place, once you get one, then you can do the rest. So that's the best thing. I had a little complication on the side, so all that is not there. I kind of like edit all the trials and error on that because oh my gosh, it took forever, but we got it. And as you can see, we got a little hallway on the side. Now I had to change a couple of things over here because I didn't want this to be seen, so I went with the little, instead of the floor that is the full size, I went with the little smaller square, and that covered all those sections there. Now on the top over here, as we finished the two and you front the door, what we're gonna do, you're gonna extend the roof right there because that is gonna be kind of like a little balcony area. And then after the pillar, that's when you get the tiny little courtyard that looks really good. But as you can see, that's what we're doing right here. Now I added some columns here because I wanted to feel a little different, and I also wanted to make the illusion that this is holding up that part of the roof right there. So I think that was important. So as you can see over here, I'm gonna do a little time skip because there was so much trial and error. So we're gonna show you in a good clip after I figure out how I wanted to do the new towers. I'm gonna show you the right way. But before that, just feel free to put these archways the way I put it here. And then now, this is where you should be. And take all of that off. And now we're gonna build the new towers over here and the way we're gonna enclose it. So what you can see, I'm putting windows all around, but I didn't want it to have all this window. What I'm doing is now I'm putting the corner pieces, and I love this feature in this game that you can clip pieces and pieces together. It's really cool. I really love that. So it gives you a whole different texture. So once you do that, it's gonna cover one window, and in the corner it's gonna give you the other look of this particular building block piece of the corner pieces. So instead of being just two walls, it gives you that little edge of the corner. So that looks incredible. So that's what you're gonna do next when it comes to the towers. Now, as you can see, if you're following along, you may need to slow down a little bit, but what we're doing is extending here because this is where your little house is gonna be for your room and all of that. So we are dividing the wall, we are dividing the sections because we want a little bit of privacy, right? This is where your main room, where you're gonna sleep, is gonna be at. So we're still working in the front over here. So as you can see, we added the walls in the back, a wall and then a window and a wall on the sides. Now we're adding again 2 windows in the corner here, and you can see that fourth piece that in the front now of the door, that is where the balcony, the walking area is gonna be. Once you get that done, we're gonna go into the sides over here, and now we're gonna put these 2 small pieces. Now I wish eventually we get more roof pieces. Maybe they're gonna be a little bit taller because the roof feels a little flat, but it's okay. I still managed to work on it. So we're adding these pieces here, and then this is how we're gonna connect our roof. And I think it actually look really nice the way the roof system works in here too. So now we're dividing we're gonna have one room on one side, we're gonna have a room on the other. I'm doing the walkway over here with the doors. Now these doors do change quite a bit because I felt like it was too close and all that. Now if you feel like this build's a little too small, then make sure that when you do this, you know, you extend the main platform. Instead of 10 by 10, you can make it 20 by 20, you can make it 15 by 15, and then take the idea and just fill up the pieces where you need it if you go a little bit bigger. So now I really wanted to go both sides, and I need to make an entrance over here. So as you can see, I'm putting a little bit of the steps over here, and then we're gonna do the small piece here because the big ones don't fit now, and we're gonna add that so we can actually go walk up there and get into the platform. So now we got the middle walkway that leads you straight out, or you're gonna choose to go either left or right to go to the rooms. Now over here, this is just kind of like a little corner, so we're gonna do some decorations there at the end, just to kind of little filler. I didn't know exactly what I want to do with the space. I could have enclosed it, maybe I could have done something different, but for the moment I just kind of left it open. We're putting the wall back over here, and now everything should start looking like this. So we're gonna add a little the entryway over here because, you know, it feels a little too plain and too empty. So we're doing 2 entryways over here. We're finishing and closing this area because we want it to feel completely blocked off. And now you should be getting this look over here. You get in the middle room, and we're gonna start working on this direction. Now we want to put the archway over here. I think it looks great. I love the archway in this back have. It just looks amazing. Now we back in the front of the little house that we're building, we're gonna put all these archways over here because we want to do a little roof system that I think it added a little bit something that looks really nice, and it makes it feel a little bit different and not just a complete fortress, but it also gives it that look of a home that I really enjoy. So, and also I wanted to add a little wood because we got so much stone, so I wanted that little combination. It reminds me a little Power World when I build in Power World, and I use wood and stone to kind of balance each other out so it doesn't look all the same. So that's basically what I'm doing here. But if you want to go all with stone, feel free to go with stone. So I went ahead and added another railway here. That is going to change. But over here, I'm doing another walkway. Now, these walkways, you don't need to. You don't need to do the extra roofing if you don't want to. Make sure to do something that you like. But I just wanted to add a little more, something that looks a little more fancy, right? And just gives it that extra look. Now we're working on the roof system. So we start from the back over here, and then we take out this middle piece because a little too tall. I thought the roof could make it, but no. So we're gonna add the small one. We're gonna put now the flat roof right over here, right down the center. And then we're gonna connect the other roof from the front now into the center. Now, the one that I'm gonna use right now, I went ahead and did the skylight kind of one because I wanted more natural light to come inside so it's not so dark during the day even. So I love this. I really like this type of roof is so unique when you're building, and I'm so into it. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. So I decided to take out the back and add it again, and I really like how this is turning out. It gave it a really good feel. Now, what I didn't like is just the way the door were working right here. I just like, it doesn't good. And I really want to put it in between in the middle, but that wasn't working. So I went with a smaller one, trying to work something better and make it feel a little more homey. But if you give me a moment, I managed to make it work that you can actually put the doorway in the middle, in the actual middle in the hallway, but you have to do a different combination of walls. So you're gonna see that we gotta take all these walls out again. We gotta use smaller pieces wall, use this archway wall, and then put inside, embed the whole frame. So as you can see here, this is not falling like right in the middle. So we're gonna change it again. We're gonna put the little doorway here. And once you start doing that, you see now because we put that little doorway there, the little one, it starts falling now more into the middle. And I like that. I really starting to like that a lot better. And this technique, we ended up using it also down in the little courtyard. So it's a really cool technique. And I like it. I like the way it feels. I like the way it's working. So hopefully you guys like it, but do it the way you want to. If you want the big doorway, you want it more into the corner, just put it wherever you prefer the doorway to be and use the doorway that you want to use. But as you can see, everything's coming together slowly. We got the roof, we got the initial roof, we see the little skyline. So now we need to work on the roof on the top. So we got to use some of the corner pieces, and thank goodness we got corner pieces. You know, we've been playing more games, builder games, and then they don't give you corner pieces. And you know, cool designs require corner pieces. So I'm so happy that they actually gave us these corner pieces here so we can make this connection on the roof that would not be possible if we didn't have those corner pieces. So I'm so thankful for that. So then we're doing another roof piece over here. So now that is connecting, that we're gonna do some flat and then flat 2 again. And now the front is looking great. It's looking good. And I'm liking the design. It's like we got this little house sitting on top of the fortress. So I love that. So now we're going to do the same thing here. Right here, we got to go a little freeform. So if you're with doing it with the controller, that's how I designed this whole thing. Most of us build with the control. Just hold on your left of the D-pad. And then instead of clipping and being, you can actually free move it to place it in a particular place that you want. So that's how I did those roofs on the side. So that one on the side, just doing the same thing on the other side as well. And then what we're doing over here, I decided that I needed to be a little bit taller on the tower. I went a little more high. So when I used the corner pieces because they have this mold, and then I went ahead and used the single pieces to kind of finish connecting it. And then you're gonna put the roof on top of the tower. Once you do that, just repeat it on all 4 towers, and it's gonna look fantastic. It gives it this little elegance, and it looks great, and it just looks nice. It looks so nice. And being a little bit taller again, it just elevated the build to another level. As you can see here, we already took the archways. That happened during one of the trials, so it was no longer there. So I it's no longer there. But as you can see, we're doing a little fly. It's looking great. So we took the archways, and now we want to add a little decoration here, just to give it a little bit of life, because I needed to see if I like this, if it's gonna feel. Now, when it comes to the decoration part, we don't have a lot of items. Let's just be honest. There's not a lot. I hope that the developers are working, because building is great, but a build can only go so far. Also, depending on the items that you can decorate with, because if not, everything looks the same. So I can't wait to see if we get more foliage, more flowers, more of anything in the game. So as you can see over here, I wanted something to really make the stairs really stand out. So I used the little floor on the side, the little roof tile on the side, or is it the floor one? I can't remember which one it is, but it's the little square. We went ahead and did that, and then I'm using the corner pieces of the wall, the top one again, to kind of enclose everything and create this box square shape. But I also wanted that little trim on the top, so it makes it a little elegant, and I also wanted the extra bricks on the side. Then what I did on the bottom, when there was a little bit of empty gap, I went and used this simple wood one here. That way they doesn't have any more trim. Now, something that I wish maybe we get some plain walls, big ones like that, just stone, so when you can match the trim, it doesn't look as bad on the side. Unless there's something that I'm doing wrong and you guys know, just let me know. But I couldn't figure out, and I don't like when you're trying to do all these walls and then the trim don't match. It just doesn't look pretty. It just doesn't look pretty. But once we did one on one side, duplicated on the other side, and then what I did here, I just added all this extra greenery just to give it this tone, right? Because we already got so much stone and we got a little bit of brown, but I need a little bit of green. And I think the green really, especially in this world, in this era, the way the biome looks, I think the green is so important, because everything is like stone or wood right now, and the green really pops out. So that's why I'm hoping that they give us a little more of that in the future. So we're gonna add a little lights. I added a little chandeliers, we added a little banner. Now I did a little bit of decoration, so you're gonna see that in the walkthrough. To make the video a little bit shorter, I didn't show you how I decorated everything, but you're gonna see a little bit of the decoration when we do the final walkthrough, so you will see that for sure. But as you can tell over here, I'm trying to figure out, I wanted something here, and I was like, you know what, let me check this fence out. And it's the only one that we have at the moment, but this looks really nice, and it really changed it for Fortress to make it feel more like a home now. So I liked it so much that I decided to take it out of here, and this is when the courtyard, what I call the courtyard, it started elevating. I'm like, oh my gosh, I really like this. I feel like this looks really good. So I went and added this here because I liked it outside so much. So we added in the fence over here, and then I decided to add a little bit of greenery as well. So on top of the columns, we're gonna put some of this plant bush over here, just to make it feel great. Now, and sometimes it's a little tricky because they don't clip, so this doesn't clip, doesn't fall in a grid. It's very free, you move it. So sometimes you gotta be patient to get it just right. Pay attention on the spacing, find a mark, so then you can duplicate it in every single area, so when you're adding it. Now, I really wanted this area to feel a little more open. I feel like it was just too enclosed. I was like, man, it feels, I need to breathe. Like that's the best way I can say, like, it feels too enclosed, I need to breathe. So I went ahead and decided to open it up a little bit by just adding a little bit of windows. So I wanted the single window here instead of the double window. I just wanted a single window. I still wanted it to be to more stone, but this, I think it helped a lot. I went and embedded a couple more columns, so just to give you that little extra look instead of being so flat on the walls. So I feel like this looks also, it gave it that look that I needed. And now it's starting to feel a little more like a courtyard. Now this door, I decided like they were too close together, so I wanted to change that one right there that you see and that's highlighted. We're gonna take that, and I want it to be more in the middle. So we're gonna do that little trick that we did again on the top, but we're gonna do it down here. So what we're doing, we're embedding the walls on the side, as you can see over here. So wall. I wanted to add a little bit window there so we can break a little bit of that. And as you can see, this starting to feel a little better. So what I did, I added this wall over here because the door still felt like it wasn't quite center. So I'm using this particular wall that's for the big archers, and I just gotta get it just right. And once I get it just right there, oh wait, right there. So you see this opening, but then you can clip this piece in, and look at, you get this brand new door. And I love it. And now it's centered to the courtyard. It just worked out, and I was so happy, and that made it look even better. So now it's just duplicating the process once again. But it's little things like that that it takes a little bit. Instead of being so simple, it pushes the build to another level. And I like this door so much that I went ahead and added those into the other section to get into the patios. And yeah, it worked out great. It just worked out beautifully. Over here, I'm doing a double window because I felt like I just want to see across on the outside, and that really opened it up for me. I felt like, okay, this feels good. I feel like you can breathe. I feel like air is flowing. I don't know, because it started becoming a fortress, but then slowly it started to becoming a home as well. And that was the magic when what this building it and coming up with the idea, doing all the trials and error is it started with one idea and then it became, but the final product, it was a clash of both. It was a beautiful fortress, but it's also a home, and it started to look more like a home than a fortress. So, and look at this, we're taking a little high look over here, a little fly, trying to see how everything's looking, and I really like the way it's just everything's turning out. I like that we went the direction to make the towers a little bit higher. I really like the house in the back. It's just a little bit elevated, but when you from the far away, you cannot see it. It's unless you're flying, you see it. Now, if you make this a little lower, you find a flat area, then you should be able probably to see the house even at that level from far away. But since this is kind of up in an incline, then you don't see it. Okay, so something that I really wanted to do is kind of get this walkway, and one of the reasons I put this one here, because as you can see, it's very close to the center point where we start when we get to this other island, right? So I kind of want to, like, when you fast travel and you land here and you get to your home or this area, but I want to build around this area and use this centerpiece where we teleport as like a center hub, and we're building all these other ideas just around this. So I think it's gonna be a great if I can make it work, and I'm excited to build the next design. So again, if you don't want to miss it, please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss all the other videos and build videos that are gonna come about this game. But as you can see, I'm using the corner pieces now. We're putting the stairs over here, and we made this platform. If you look on the side, we got the two tiles in the middle and then the little ones. That way we keep everything in frame. So that was, to me, that was important. Now again, you can terraform, you can dig out, you can take out dirt. So some of the dirt that's clipping in, it feels a little natural because, you know, doesn't have to be super clean and perfect. So I like that dirt coming into that. It just makes it feel great. So at night, I really want this to stand out a little more, so I added torch all the way across the one side on the outside. So if you look at both sides, it looks really great. So I enjoy that. Then over here, remember that there were 6. So what I decided is take 2 walls, and we're gonna create the door effect once again. So we just gotta get it to work and make it work. So we're doing the half wall over here, and then we do the arch wall, and then we embed the door. Now, one of the final changes that I did to that, right now I'm using the stone, but eventually I did change the stone one, delete that, and added the wood one, just to give it a little bit of different look into the breakdown of the wall, and I think it looks really, really good. Like, I like that choice a lot. Now, I added the fence because I added on the front, I added on the balcony, so I really like this. And here is when it hit me that I was like, you know what if I do the wood, because all the main doors are wood, right? The big doors in this area. So that's what I did. Now, something to bring a little bit more elegance, you know, into this build over here, and to take away a little bit of this dirt on the side and make it feel a little more complete. I added this floor platform over here. We're gonna do a wall over here. We're gonna do another flooring back here, because back here we're gonna put some statues, and then we're gonna fence that in, and that gives it kind of like a little look. So you guys, if you're new to the channel, I do a lot of research when I do my builds. I like to look realistic stuff, so I started putting a lot of Greek building and stuff like that, just to see how things look and how often use columns, especially on this era. So, and everything is very square, right? So that's what we're trying to do here. So I'm doing a 2 walkway here. We're gonna add a little, now this is for like the stairs, but it looks so good, and I wanted to feel more like a little gate. So I went ahead and used it there, and I really like it. So once you duplicate, you build the one on the side, you're gonna duplicate on the other side. So I'm just finish showing you right at the end, because then over here I started adding columns. So I added 3 columns kind of embedded into the wall. I did it at first outside. I don't know, I like the look when it looked inside, like halfway through the wall, like it's coming out, but it's up to you. Just make it the way you want, if you want it to be more outside or on the inside. So, but I kind of liked it like this. It just gave it something different. And like I said, all that is personal preference, so I really enjoyed it myself. But I adding three on the side, and then we're gonna add 2 statues in between the columns. So I went ahead and added this one, and I did the same thing on the other side. Feel free to add any of the statues. There's only technically 3 statues like this. They've got the lion, the man, and the woman. So that's the ones that we got, but you can add more. Hopefully they add more statues, and then you can swap them out eventually, you know, if you're building this now in your game and you want to do something like this. So I hope that you do. Now in the middle piece here, I felt like as a little cool plaza area, and we need more seating. There's only like 1 chair right now, so I needed something with marble or stone or something. Hopefully that will come eventually down the road, so I'm gonna wait for that. But I went ahead and added a little bit more greenery, as you guys can see, and then I did this little design. This is the same corner pieces that we did on the towers, but we're doing that here just with that. We're gonna add right here on the floor, we added the one on using the small, we added 4, and then we're gonna do the lion statue in here. And I think that's really cool. Hopefully eventually we get more fountains and stuff like that, and it'd be great to add a fountain right there, like a really nice fountain, and that could look incredible. So now on the side over here, I'm gonna add a couple walls just to make it feel a little more finished. I'm on the stairs since the main walkway that's leading to your home has the same thing. So that's something that I wanted to do, so as you can see over here. And now this is the build. So we're gonna finally get ready to do the walkthrough, as you can see. So we're gonna do a little fly. I really like this design. Again, like I mentioned, I wanted to go with something simple as my first one. I didn't want to go something too complicated, something that would take too much work, and I want something that anybody could build very simple, even with wood. Even if you're trying to do it non-creative and you just gathering your own resources, I wanted something that it was simple, straight to the point, nothing too complicated, and that will look good, but also that will fit a lot of stuff, all the equipment, everything you need it, but also give you that look of protection, but also have your little home in the inside. And the great thing about this build, truly, that you can tweak it however you want. You know, you want to make it bigger, you want to make it smaller, you want to make those towers even taller, you want to make your house twice the height. You know, you want to go twice as high, go twice as high and make a second floor. Like, the options on this, and so easy in many ways to just raise it up, make it wider, because there is no curving, there is nothing weird, it's all straightforward, the build, right? And I think a lot of people can really take advantage of this design and really add to it. And that's what I want to hope, and I get people writing like, I love this design and I can actually add to it, expand on it, build next to it, and I'm gonna be building next to it. That's the whole point. That's why I decided to build here. But we're gonna walk a little slower because everything is being as a spill video. But as you can see, I really love this. I love this fence right here. Again, adding that extra tones of brown against the stone, it really goes a long way. But if you want to go all stone, please feel free to do that. Adding the little banners, adding the little greenery. Again, we don't have a lot of decor, not just yet. Hopefully with the next updates, they'll keep adding more decoration item that fits the era. I'm completely 100% with that. We just need more. We just need more. Truly, we need fruit bowls, fruit stands, just anything, especially fountains. We need fountain, we need water. You know, I seen a lot of pictures, and during this era, there were beautiful fountains everywhere. So we need that. But we're gonna take the walkway over here, and as you can see, we got the greenery, we got the torches, we got the columns. Now, I think in the future, you can add maybe another 2 or maybe 2 more columns and do the same thing we did on the bottom, do it on the top. I have 2 over here. You can add it where the banners are at. Maybe you want to add a column there. I think you can add a little more. Maybe it will make it a little bit more elegant, more impressive. And maybe I'll do that. I'll come back and do that again. But we added this bird bath over here. As you can see, it's one of the few items. But there's no water movement, but it's pretty cool. It gives it just, again, another look. We got the torches. We got a statue right here in the middle. And then we get inside the courtyard. And again, this is something that I truly, truly love. I love this feel open area before you go underneath it, and then on the top and seeing the wood. I like the way it came out. I was not expecting it to like it this much, you know. And I'm gonna be honest. I think the fence is what did the trick. If it was all stone, I don't think it would give it this effect that I was looking for. But by doing it this way, it really worked out great. Now we're gonna walk here, and then I'm gonna show you how I envision this. You know, in each of the corners in the bottom, you can put your utilities, right? Your work table, your benches. Now, put in whichever way and form you want. You know, it's gonna be truly up to you what area you want. But you got enough space. You truly have enough space, and that was something that I was really concerned of mine. I really want to have space so it doesn't feel too crowded, but I didn't want to be so big either that it's like, wow, you put one thing here and it still looks empty, right? Until we get more items to decorate, that is a fine balance to have. But as you can see here, over here I put like two chests, and here's your like leather station, your hunter station and stuff like that. And then another patio over here. Now I decided if I didn't make any entrances from the sides or nothing, you gotta come in and you go out from the front. Now you can add all the entrances in the back or in the sides if you wanted to, but you know, I want to be protected, so everybody comes in through the front door, in and out, right? Here's where you cook your meat, you clean your animals, stuff like that. Again, I only added this. It's not fully decorated. I just wanted when I did the walkthrough, so you can envision what the possibilities can be. On this balcony, I went ahead and added like, so you guys can also visualize like this, the taming rack, where you're gonna dry and your pelts and all of that. So this looks nice, just out here getting the sun, getting dry. So again, another idea that you can use. The other corner, we got like this, the furnace, where you make your bricks and stuff like that. So we got that table there, and then we got a little centerpiece over here in the middle. But when you go inside these doors here, now this door you can make enclosed. I prefer the archway, that way it looks kind of open and through, so it's not enclosed, but you can put open and closed doors if you want it there. But then over here, this is another area where you can again put more of your utilities and benches and anything that you want. It's not totally fully decorated. I didn't put any of the torch lights. I'm gonna do that a little bit on my spare time and see what else do I want to add. Do I want to buy banners and stuff like that, or I may wait until we get more decoration items I can truly decorate this and feel even more alive. But when you walk the stairs, I really wanted to see like these are like trophies, and well, I needed to change this one because when you walk up, you can barely see it. So I went ahead and flipped it to the other side and try to put it again right in the middle. And then when you walk the stairs, when you see it, then you see the face of the buck. So that worked out great. I really like it more like this. So when you're walking up the stairs, you see that. And again, this could be anything. You can also put lights, you can put storage, you can make that part of the room. So instead of having that empty space, then you can make it something else. So it's gonna be truly up to you depending what you want to do. Behind that wall on the side of the stairs, again, it's just a little dead end. So again, inventory, chest, maybe we get other stuff in the future. So we'll see what they give us, what items, and then maybe we can put something there. Now on the back, like I mentioned, I really love the archway. I think it looks great. And then on the top, as you can see, on the towers, on the top, plenty of space, just like in the bottom, that you can do more stuff. You can add more of the benches that you need. So if you're doing this actual survival crafting and not doing creative mode, then you need all that space because maybe you want to put 5 different machines. So you got plenty of space in the towers to actually do that. And then you got plenty of windows, you got your doorways in and out. So it's really flowing. It just flows really nicely, right? And then we get to see the front of the house. We got the wolf right there in the front, looking good. Add a little bit of extra greenery, couple chairs in the front, right? Just to kind of give you that imagination of what can be possible when it comes to decorating and how you would like to decorate it. There is the central hub right there. That's kind of the idea why I wanted to put this here, and I want to expand in this circle here, so I can't wait to start doing that. Again, the little walkways, the little other roofs, and there is the little courtyard area. It is my favorite. It is my favorite part of this build. It's that little in between, right? In between. It just came out too good. It came out too good. it makes me smile. Let's just be honest. It makes me smile. It makes me happy. Okay, so I kind of pretend that I'm coming in up the stairs and getting here. I love the view. Another reason that I picked this area, because I really love the view when you look out here and you see just out the distance. I think it looks fantastic, and if this is your home, then you got a nice view. You truly got a nice view. I just picked any of the rooms and I added like a bed real quick so you can imagine. We still need a lot of bedroom furniture. We don't have bedroom furniture. We don't got dresser. So to really make this look like a room, we don't have all those items, so we need that. So hopefully the decoration team or the developer team are working hard to add that on. But then you have another room on the side over here to make it whatever you need it to be. But yeah, this is slowly the build. This is what we did. I feel for the first build, I like this design. I think it's very helpful. I think a lot of you can enjoy it. And again, I think the best thing I like about this design is that it can be expanded on. You can make it even better than what this looks like. You can make it even more complicated. You can make it as big. You can make it taller. You know, the house back there, if you feel like it's a little too low, you can go and make it a 2-story home if you wanted to and really make it stand out, you know, and it's easy. You just, you know, make it higher and that's it. And so there is a few things in this build that I really like, and I can't wait how this will look in the future when we get more updates, when we get more building blocks, when we get more decorative items, and how can we expand on this idea here. We're gonna give you a little high shot of the view over here so you can see kind of how it looks on the top. It does look like a little fortress, and that was what I was going for. But this is the build. This is the final shot. This is what you see. I hope that you guys really enjoy this build. I hope that you guys are now inspired to build in Dawn of Defiance, and I can't wait to see what you guys do. But guys, truly, thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to hit that like, subscribe if you want to see more videos, and I'll see you all on the very next one. Alright guys, see you later. Bye.